Hello everybody and welcome to GTA 5. Now of course, one thing that's really a main attraction is the car controls, which are better in this game than they were in GTA 4. I also really like this game because I get to do stuff like that. Oh yeah. Now of course I wouldn't be causing this trouble for nothing. I'd of course have people follow me. The police, of course. Just can't help being public enemy number one in a game like this. Well, time to take my car for a spin, which I fully customized and all. So yeah, moving on. Of course, one thing that's also another main draw, I mean, I could talk about the story, but that's not as important. It's about people rising to power and such. And of course, there's other characters involved and such. There's twists and turns, you know how it usually goes. Anyway, there are 3 different characters in this game, of course. And each of which has a specific special move that they do in slow motion now. Okay, dear, I'm not doing so hot. There's Trevor, who of course, each character does a certain move in special motion, like I said. Trevor's is basically his rage mode. He kills in slow motion. Michael, who is basically, his specialty in that regard is flying, and of course Franklin's is driving. So, and of course a lot of people tend to use Trevor more often. Anywho, oh shit! Oh yes, take that, motherfucker! Made Swiss cheese out of it. Of course, I also equipped this with nitrous, and the ability to customize cars has also been greatly improved in here. Now, one thing that is also has a bit of realism tied to it, but doesn't have the best handling when you first start off, would be oh yes, 2 points, or rather 60. Alrighty, I'm just betting right now these guys are not going to catch me. But moving on. Okay, the flight controls. Basically, flying vehicles feels much harder than it should be when you first start off, because you're going to be having some troubles. When you first use any of the aircrafts, choppers, or any flying vehicles, you're going to have some trouble. So it's best to actually go to the shit, what was it? My mind is wandering right now, so I'm having so much fun. There's also a lot of other cool stuff too, which I will demonstrate in a bit. Moving on. Shit, what was it? Oh yeah, the flight controls. Basically, yeah, you gotta go to flight school in-game wise, and of course, as you get better and deal with that bullshit, you end up getting better at flights. I mean, unless you're bad at flying in-game. But whatever, to each their own. There's also the online multiplayer, which of course can be male or female. I made hold on. I made mine as a female. Oh, no, I don't want to quit. Sorry, wrong button. Shit, that was wrong with me. Moving on. So yes, going off-roading is also really enjoyable. The map in-game is actually pretty massive, if you ask me. It's not as big as GTA San Andreas, but it's quite big. Of course, there are 3 different endings based on how things turn out in this game. I think it's best to choose the Death Wish option instead of the other 2, the Death Wish ending. Particularly because the other 2 characters will live as a result, and everybody's problems will be solved easily by then. And for those who do not know, I am cheating to show you all the goodies, or at least get to the main reason why I consider it to be a good game. Now, of course, for me, I haven't been a fan of the story since, well, to be honest, since San Andreas, but that's mainly because there's a lot of hypocritical characters, but, you know. The game basically has a lot of really good references, really funny references. It does its best to be entertaining, and it's I guess you could say very abrasive in how it does it. It's very loud and arrogant and pretentious, and it doesn't give a shit what you think about it, which is understandable. I mean, a lot of games like this sandbox are definitely that way, which is good. And I have plenty of friends who play this game, especially one family member in particular who does enjoy this as well. And I also bought him a copy of that game when it was on sale. So yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. Now, let's see what else I can tell you. You can, of course, play it with a keyboard and mouse or controller. I use a controller most of the time, unless I'm at the firing range in-game, which is actually much better. And I'm guessing a lot of cops are going to be coming soon. It's practically almost already here. But yeah, let's see here. Let me go ahead and demonstrate. One of the newest guns, at least for me, that I've seen is the railgun, which is really nice. Of course, there's the rage mode that's also a nice factor. And I can't help but enjoy how every single gun feels in this regard. I mean, it handles very, very well. Now, aiming is best, like, at the firing range with the keyboard and mouse. I know I may have said that already, but I just think it's really cool. Because, for me, I would always like to play first-person shooters with those types of controls, but yeah, getting off track a little, but the point is, this is a fun game. Especially when you deal with people like the police, which have been pwned constantly in sandbox games for many years to come, including other bad guys. Of course, there's side quests and such. I mean, generally the characters in their own way are likable, their own unique way, but it's going to take a while to actually get used to them. My most favorite is Trevor, simply because he's just much more enjoyable. I guess you could say he's basically would be equivalent to that of an artist who would never want to sell out and always want to keep on fighting the good fight against the world. You know, because you know how some artists want to settle down, retire, have a family. I guess that would be his character to describe, because even though he's not necessarily a musician, he's a rock star when it comes to, of course, heists, armed robbery, that sort of thing. I can't believe I'm still going. Yes, and with GTA Online, it's really fun. You'll eventually end up dealing with mob griefers, assholes, hackers, and cheaters. Now, of course, I'm cheating only in offline single player, and I don't condone any sort of cheating actions in terms of playing it online. Holy shit, what the fuck? How did that happen? So, okay, so, moving on. Everything is just a lot better here. I mean, this is practically like, if we're going to talk from a gameplay perspective, GTA San Andreas and this game are practically the best. It's just that this one's a lot better when it comes to car handling and for the car customization settings, which are pretty nice. I know you can do it in San Andreas as well, but in a sense it's kind of been improved here. The paint jobs are mostly good too, but yeah. It overall handles fairly well. Comes to life with friends or without. Personally, I also like the addition that this game does one thing that Saints Row the Third doesn't do, and allows you to replay missions, which I absolutely adore. Let me go ahead and see here. Game. Yeah, you go to game, replay missions, and the whole smorgasbord is there. So, yeah, I can't help but enjoy this game, mainly from a gameplay aspect and a gameplay perspective, because that's why anyone plays it. Of course, there is also another way of playing it, is basically utilizing the cinematic camera angle, which most GTA players do not use when playing said game. I mean, for the most part, I'm not good at it, as you can tell. Only when there's a clear amount of space and I'm going on straightaways, then it's fine usually, but I'm mostly terrible at it. So My car is gone. Great. Oh well. Of course, I should be using an RPG, but it's slow, as you can tell. But it's really nice. Of course, there's the non-homing launcher that's also been tossed in for good measure, but this is another nice touch. As you play through the game, you unlock stuff, and you can customize your character's appearance, and your character has stats, and you can upgrade those too. You get your businesses, which is actually expanded upon, but it kind of has that Scarface, the world is yours, overwhelming aspect, where you should have, basically, how do you put it, you have to do most of the work yourself, which is kind of bullshit in that regard. I mean, I know you're the boss, and you run things and all that, but it feels like your business should have some better people running it, if you know what I mean. Excuse me, because I belched. So anyway, there's a lot to enjoy here, in case I haven't already said that enough. So yeah. However, this may end up being a problem, like its gameplay or whatnot might actually turn off some people. But the movement of characters has actually been a bit improved. Takes some getting used to, but it's definitely enjoyable. So yeah. Of course, the aim assist is also really nice, but then again, it's in like pretty much every shooter now. So I think that's another nice thing. All in all, this is a good game, but I have to say, give it a rent before you actually spend money on it. Even if you're going to be playing it with friends, it's best to know that you can actually get used to the thing first. Yeah, rent, basically try it out first before spending money. It's always best to do that. Me, I definitely rented this. It's enjoyable. I think it's better on PC, considering the cheat-happy fun that I can have, but that's beside the point. So yeah, that's pretty much my final thoughts on the whole ordeal. Well, this game in general. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And that brings this video to a close. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next videos.